The massive research vessel, Star Seeker, drifted silently through the void of space, its sensors scanning the unknown regions beyond Earth's colonial territories. Dr. Tom Miller stood at the observation deck, his weathered face reflected in the reinforced glass as he watched the stars streak by. After 30 years of studying alien life forms, he thought he had seen everything the galaxy had to offer. He was wrong. "Doctor, you need to see this," called out Jack, one of the younger researchers, his voice trembling with excitement or fear, perhaps both. "We've picked up readings of the Shadow Beast." Tom's heart skipped a beat. The Shadow Beast, a creature that had terrorized countless alien civilizations for millennia. Every advanced species they'd encountered had warned humanity about it, a predator so lethal that entire planetary defense systems had failed to stop it. Yet, surprisingly, in all of humanity's expansion across the stars, not a single human settlement had ever been attacked. The mystery had haunted Tom for years. Why would the galaxy's apex predator, known for hunting the most dangerous prey, completely ignore humans? The question had driven him to lead this expedition into unexplored space, hoping to find answers. "Show me the readings," Tom said, moving quickly to the main research terminal. The holographic display showed a massive energy signature moving through nearby space, larger than any they'd previously recorded. The creature's biosigns were off the charts, suggesting it was ancient, perhaps one of the first of its kind. As they tracked the Shadow Beast's movement, something unexpected happened. The creature altered its course, heading directly toward their ship. The crew froze, years of collected stories about the beast's devastating attacks flooding their minds. But Tom remained calm, his scientific curiosity overshadowing any fear. "Hold position," he ordered, despite the nervous glances from his crew. "This is exactly what we came for." The ship's AI announced proximity alerts as the Shadow Beast drew closer. Through the observation windows, they could see it now, a massive form that seemed to bend light around it, its true shape hidden behind a cloak of darkness that their most advanced sensors couldn't penetrate. Then, something extraordinary occurred. Instead of attacking, the creature began to emit complex patterns of bioluminescence, creating shapes and symbols in the void of space. Tom's eyes widened as he realized what was happening. "It's trying to communicate," he whispered, quickly activating the ship's recording systems. "After all these years, we finally understand why humans were never targeted. We weren't prey, we were something else entirely." The Shadow Beast's display continued, and as Tom watched, he began to piece together an ancient story that would change humanity's understanding of their place in the galaxy forever. The truth about why Earth's children had been spared was far more incredible than anyone could have imagined. The Shadow Beast's bioluminescent display filled the observation deck with shifting patterns of blue and green light. Dr. Tom Miller worked frantically at his console, cross-referencing the symbols against every known alien language in their database. Behind him, the crew watched in stunned silence as the massive creature continued its peaceful dance through space. "Doctor," Jack called out, his eyes fixed on a secondary screen. "The computers found something. These patterns, they match cave paintings found on Earth. Some of them are over 40,000 years old." Tom rushed to Jack's station, his hands trembling as he examined the matches. The similarities were undeniable. Ancient human artwork from every continent showed the same swirling patterns they now witnessed in space. The implications were staggering. "They've been watching us," Tom breathed. "Since before we built our first cities, they've been there." The ship's AI suddenly announced, "Warning. Unknown energy signature detected. The creature is attempting to establish a direct neural link." Before anyone could react, the observation deck was flooded with images, not projected on screens, but directly into their minds. Tom gasped as memories that weren't his own cascaded through his consciousness. He saw Earth, millions of years ago. A young shadow beast, wounded and pursued by its own kind, crash-landing in Earth's prehistoric oceans. The creature was an outcast, different from its aggressive brethren. As it healed, it witnessed something extraordinary: early humans, working together to hunt, protect each other, and care for their young. The memories shifted. The shadow beast watched humanity's ancestors develop tools, create art, and build communities. Unlike other species that evolved through pure aggression, humans advanced through cooperation and innovation. The creature recognized something of itself in these beings, a desire to protect rather than destroy. When other shadow beasts began exploring Earth's sector of space, the wounded creature made a choice. It would become humanity's silent guardian, using its fearsome reputation to keep its predatory kin away from Earth. Over millennia, it recruited others of its kind who shared its fascination with humans, creating an invisible shield around human-occupied space. The neural link faded, leaving Tom and his crew breathless. "They're not predators," Tom said, his voice filled with wonder. "They're guardians. The stories about their aggression, it's all a facade to protect us." Jack pointed at his screen, his voice urgent. "Doctor, look at these readings. The beast's genetic structure, it's adapting, changing itself to better communicate with us. They've been evolving alongside humanity, waiting for the right moment to make contact." A new series of images filled their minds, countless moments when shadow beasts had quietly intervened, directing more aggressive alien species away from Earth's vicinity, allowing humanity to develop undisturbed. They had orchestrated humanity's peaceful first contact with alien life, ensuring that Earth would enter the galactic community from a position of strength rather than vulnerability. "But why reveal themselves now?" one of the crew members asked. Tom studied the massive creature still hovering outside their ship, its form rippling with patterns that now seemed less alien and more familiar. "Because something's coming," he realized, interpreting the beast's final message. "Something that requires humanity and the shadow beasts to work together openly." The creature's bioluminescence intensified, forming one final, urgent pattern. Tom's blood ran cold as he understood its meaning. Their ancient guardians were calling for help, and humanity's response would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of the entire galaxy. As the Star Seeker's crew processed the shadow beast's warning, emergency alerts blared through the ship's communication systems. Multiple vessels dropping out of hyperspace, announced the ship's AI. Unknown configuration. No match in any known database. Dr. Tom Miller watched as dozens of crystalline ships materialized in the distance, their surfaces reflecting starlight like shattered mirrors. The shadow beast's massive form moved protectively between these new arrivals and the research vessel, its bioluminescent patterns now pulsing with rapid, urgent rhythms. "They're called the Void Shapers," Tom said, the knowledge flowing into his mind through the neural link. "They're not from our galaxy." The crew watched in horror as one of the crystalline ships fired a beam of pure darkness at a nearby asteroid. The massive rock didn't explode or shatter. It simply ceased to exist, leaving behind a perfect sphere of nothingness that began to grow, consuming the surrounding space. "Now we know why the shadow beasts have been protecting us," Jack said, his voice barely a whisper. "The Void Shapers don't just destroy planets or species, they erase entire regions of space from existence." Through the neural link, Tom saw the truth. The Void Shapers had already consumed countless galaxies, using the stolen energy to expand their territory. They had finally reached the Milky Way, and their first targets would be the shadow beasts, the only force that had ever successfully driven them back. But the shadow beasts had discovered something extraordinary about humans. While other species evolved to be stronger, faster, or more technologically advanced, humans had developed a unique ability: adaptive creativity. Where other races saw impossible situations, humans saw opportunities. Where others followed established patterns, humans invented new solutions. The neural link goes both ways, Tom realized, his mind racing. "Quick, everyone, focus your thoughts on the growing void. Think about how you would stop it if you could." As the crew concentrated, the shadow beast's form began to change. Its dark surface rippled and shifted as it incorporated their ideas, adapting its very biology based on human creativity. Thousands of years spent observing humanity had given the shadow beasts the ability to evolve in real time, but they needed human minds to spark new possibilities. The transformed beast launched itself toward the expanding sphere of nothingness. Its body now generated waves of energy that matched the void's frequency but in reverse, causing the nothingness to collapse in on itself. The Void Shaper's weapon had been turned against them. "That's why they stayed hidden and protected us," Tom explained to his awestruck crew. "They were waiting for humanity to reach a level of development where we could understand and help them. We're not just allies, we're catalysts for their evolution." Through the neural link, the shadow beast revealed more. The Void Shapers had encountered countless warrior races, technological masterminds, and powerful psychics. But they had never faced a species like humanity, unpredictable problem solvers who could find ways around seemingly unbeatable odds. Combined with the shadow beast's ability to implement these solutions on a biological level, they formed the galaxy's best hope for survival. "Send an emergency transmission to Earth," Tom ordered. "Tell them everything. The galaxy doesn't need humanity's weapons or technology, it needs our imagination." As the message was sent, more shadow beasts emerged from hyperspace, surrounding the Star Seeker protectively. The Void Shaper's fleet grew larger as well, their crystalline ships forming complex geometric patterns that distorted the fabric of space itself. The true battle for the galaxy was about to begin, and its outcome would depend on the most powerful force in existence, the human ability to think the impossible. The response from Earth came faster than anyone on the Star Seeker expected. Within hours, thousands of human ships jumped into the sector, not just military vessels, but research ships, mining platforms, and civilian craft. The shadow beasts watched in fascination as humans of all backgrounds volunteered to join the fight. "They're not just sending soldiers," Tom explained to the shadow beast through their neural link. "They're sending teachers, artists, engineers, chefs, everyone who can think differently about the problem." The beast's bioluminescent patterns shifted in what Tom now recognized as appreciation. Through the link, it shared images of other species' responses to similar threats, unified military responses, rigid battle formations, predictable strategies. Humanity, in contrast, had assembled a chaos of creativity. On the Star Seeker's main deck, now converted into an impromptu command center, Tom watched as people from every field proposed solutions. A video game designer suggested using multiple small voids to trap larger ones. A chef theorized about seasoning space with specific radiation frequencies to make it indigestible to the Void Shapers. A professional gardener proposed pruning spacetime like an overgrown vine. The shadow beasts absorbed each idea, their bodies evolving and adapting. Some grew crystalline structures to mirror the Void Shaper's ships, others developed energy patterns that disrupted the enemy's formations. Each beast became unique, shaped by the human minds they connected with. "Doctor," Jack called out, pointing to his display. "Look at what the children are doing." Tom turned to see a video feed from Earth. While adults focused on weapons and defense, human children had approached the problem differently. They drew pictures of shadow beasts with rainbow colors instead of darkness, imagining them as beings of light rather than shadow. To everyone's amazement, several younger beasts began to change color, their traditional dark forms blazing with vibrant energy that the Void Shapers couldn't absorb. "Of course," Tom breathed. "Children don't know what's supposed to be impossible." The Void Shapers launched another attack, their crystalline ships forming a massive geometric web that began to drain energy from nearby stars. But this time, humanity was ready. Guided by a musician's understanding of harmonics, the shadow beasts arranged themselves in a counter-pattern, their bodies vibrating at frequencies that shattered the enemy's formation. It's not about matching their power, Tom realized. It's about changing the rules of the game entirely. Through the neural link, the shadow beasts shared their growing excitement. For millions of years, they had evolved through careful, methodical adaptations. Now, linked with human minds, they were changing as rapidly as human thoughts could form. Each impossible idea sparked new transformations, making them truly unpredictable for the first time in their existence. The Void Shapers recoiled, their perfect formations wavering. They had conquered countless galaxies by exploiting the predictable responses of rational species. But humanity's rational solutions included ideas from children's stories, abstract art, and music theory, a chaos of creativity that defied systematic countermeasures. "Send word to Earth," Tom ordered. "Tell them to broadcast every creative thought, every wild idea, every impossible solution. The shadow beasts will make them real." As the message went out, the crew watched their beast allies continue to transform. Some now existed in multiple dimensions at once, others had become living paradoxes that the Void Shapers couldn't process. The galaxy's deadliest predators had become something entirely new, a force of pure possibility, powered by human imagination. But the Void Shapers were far from defeated. As their initial strategy failed, they began to adapt as well, their crystalline ships taking on new, nightmare configurations. The real test of humanity's creative potential was about to begin. The Void Shapers' response to humanity's creative chaos was devastating. Their crystalline ships merged into a single vast structure that began to rotate, creating a spiral of anti-reality that threatened to unwind the very fabric of spacetime. Dr. Tom Miller watched from the Star Seeker as entire star systems began to unravel like loose threads in a cosmic tapestry. "They're not just trying to destroy space anymore," Jack said, his voice tense as he studied the sensor readings. "They're trying to undo it, to reverse the universe back to before life existed." Through the neural link, the shadow beasts shared their growing concern. Their transformations, powered by human creativity, had forced the Void Shapers to reveal their true purpose. They weren't invaders, but cosmic janitors, trying to clean up what they saw as the universe's messy experiment with life and consciousness. "That's why they fear us," Tom realized. Human creativity and beast adaptation together create endless new possibilities, exactly what they're trying to eliminate. But the Void Shapers' new strategy was working. The shadow beasts' transformations began to slow, their bodies struggling to maintain coherence as space itself became increasingly unstable. Human ideas alone weren't enough anymore, they needed something more. "Doctor," one of the crew members called out, "we're receiving a transmission from Earth. It's from the World Dream Archive." Tom's eyes widened. The archive was humanity's greatest collection of stories, myths, and dreams from every culture and era. As the transmission poured in, the neural link filled with thousands of years of human imagination, heroes and monsters, gods and demons, dreams of flight and tales of impossible victories. The effect on the shadow beasts was immediate and extraordinary. Instead of trying to adapt to current circumstances, they began to transform based on humanity's accumulated creativity, millions of stories and dreams spanning thousands of years. Some beasts took on aspects of ancient dragons, their bodies wreathed in mythological flames that burned through the void. Others became like legendary giants, striding through spacetime itself. A few transformed into beings straight out of humanity's most abstract dreams, their forms defying any rational description. The Void Shapers' spiral of destruction faltered as it encountered these manifestations of pure imagination. Their logical processes couldn't compute beings that existed simultaneously as reality and myth, science and story. "Keep transmitting," Tom ordered. "Send everything, every dream, every story, every legend humanity has ever created." Through the neural link, Tom felt the shadow beasts' growing understanding. They weren't just copying human ideas anymore, they were becoming living bridges between imagination and reality, turning the abstract creative force of humanity into concrete changes in the universe itself. The Void Shapers' perfect spiral began to crack. Their attempt to unwind reality met resistance from beings that were partly real and partly story, their very existence anchored in human dreams rather than just physical space. But victory came with a price. As the shadow beasts embodied more and more of humanity's imagination, they began to change in ways even they couldn't predict. Some started to fade in and out of existence, becoming more story than substance. Others emerged with the dreams they embodied, transforming into entirely new forms of consciousness. They're not just evolving anymore, Tom realized, watching their oldest allies transform beyond recognition. They're transcending. The battle had become more than a fight for survival, it was now a race between the Void Shaper's attempt to unravel reality and the Shadow Beast's transformation into something that existed beyond normal spacetime. And caught in the middle was humanity, their dreams and stories literally reshaping the nature of existence itself. The Star Seeker's observation deck had become a window into impossibility. Dr. Tom Miller watched as shadow beasts, now transformed by humanity's collective imagination, battled against the Void Shaper's attempts to unravel reality. Space itself had become a canvas where myths and physics painted new laws of existence. "We're detecting something strange," Jack reported, his eyes fixed on the sensor readings. "The transformed beasts, they're not just changing themselves anymore. They're changing the rules of the universe." Through the neural link, Tom felt it too. Every story humans had ever told about the nature of reality, every myth about how the universe worked, was becoming partially true. The shadow beasts had become living catalysts, turning humanity's dreams about the cosmos into localized laws of physics. The Void Shapers recoiled as their carefully calculated reality began to crack. In some areas, ancient myths about celestial spheres became real, creating spaces where planets danced on crystal shells. In others, modern dreams of quantum possibilities exploded into existence, spawning regions where all possibilities happened at once. "Look at the readings from Earth," one of the crew members called out. "People are starting to dream new dreams, create new stories, and the beasts are making them real as fast as they're imagined." The shadow beasts had become a bridge between human creativity and physical law, transforming the galaxy into a place where imagination and reality were no longer separate. Each human dream added new colors to their palette, new tools to their arsenal. But the Void Shapers weren't finished. Their crystalline structure began to pulse with a cold, mathematical light that sought to impose rigid order on the chaos of creation. They were the universe's immune system, trying to eliminate what they saw as a reality-threatening infection of dreams and possibilities. "They don't understand," Tom said, watching the battle unfold. "They think they're protecting the universe by keeping it clean and orderly. They can't see that chaos and creativity are what make it alive." Through the neural link, the shadow beasts shared a sudden revelation. They had protected humanity for millennia, waiting for this moment, not just to fight the Void Shapers, but to prove something about the nature of existence itself. Every story humans had ever told about monsters in the dark had been preparation for understanding the universe's greatest truth. The Void Shapers think they're the universe's defenders, Tom realized. But they're fighting against its very purpose. The cosmos doesn't want to be clean and ordered, it wants to grow, to dream, to become more than it is. The transformed beasts began to move in perfect synchronization, their mythological forms weaving together reality and dreams into something entirely new. They weren't just changing the rules anymore, they were showing that the ability to change rules was itself the deepest law of the universe. The Void Shaper's perfect crystal structure began to resonate with a new frequency. For the first time in their eternal existence, they encountered something their mathematical minds couldn't process. A universe that wanted to dream. As their crystalline forms began to crack, something unexpected happened. Through the gaps in their perfect geometry, colors began to emerge, dreams and possibilities they had suppressed within themselves for eons. The universe's janitors were beginning to remember their own capacity for imagination. "They're not our enemies," Tom said softly, understanding at last. They're just part of the universe that forgot how to dream. And now, the shadow beasts moved forward, no longer attacking but inviting, their transformed forms radiating with all of humanity's dreams of harmony and connection. They had protected humanity for so long not just because humans could imagine, but because human imagination could remind the whole universe how to dream. Dr. Tom Miller stood at the Star Seeker's observation deck for what felt like the last time. The view before him was unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed, a universe in the process of remembering how to dream. The transformed shadow beasts had become living bridges between imagination and reality, while the Void Shaper's crystalline forms bloomed with long-suppressed colors of creativity. "Doctor," Jack called out, his voice filled with wonder, "you need to see these readings. The fabric of space-time, it's not just changing anymore. It's awakening." Through the neural link, the shadow beasts shared their final revelation. The universe had never been just a collection of physical laws and mathematical constants. It was a living dream, temporarily frozen by the Void Shaper's desperate attempt to prevent chaos. Humanity's gift hadn't been creativity alone, it had been the courage to dream despite knowing that dreams might not come true. The Void Shaper's perfect geometric formation had completely dissolved now, replaced by crystalline structures that pulsed with endless possibilities. Through the gaps in their transformed bodies, Tom could see something extraordinary, new universes being born, each one filled with its own dreams and stories. They were never meant to be janitors, Tom realized, watching the Void Shaper's transformation. They were meant to be gardeners, helping new realities grow. The shadow beasts moved among their former enemies, their mythological forms resonating with the newly awakened dreams of the Void Shapers. Together, they began to weave a new kind of cosmic fabric, one that could contain both perfect mathematical order and infinite creative chaos. "Look at Earth signals," one of the crew members said, monitoring the communications. "Every human mind connected to the neural link is experiencing the same thing. We're not just sharing our dreams with them anymore, they're sharing their dreams with us." Through the link, Tom felt it, dreams not just of human origin, but from every corner of the cosmos. The shadow beasts had protected humanity not because humans were special, but because they had maintained what every species was meant to have, the ability to imagine something greater than themselves. The Star Seeker's sensors recorded the final transformation. The shadow beasts and Void Shapers merged into something entirely new, cosmic dreamweavers, beings that existed to help reality imagine new ways of being. The universe's deadliest predator had become its greatest creator. "All this time," Tom said, understanding at last, "we thought the shadow beasts were the most dangerous thing in the galaxy. But they were just protecting the most dangerous thing of all, the ability to dream of something better." The neural link filled with one last message, not in words or images, but in pure possibility. The transformed beings showed humanity its new role in the cosmos. Humans would remain as they were, telling stories, imagining new possibilities, and dreaming new dreams. But now, their dreams would have new gardeners, new protectors who understood that the highest purpose of existence was not to maintain order, but to grow towards ever greater wonders. "Send a message to Earth," Tom said, watching the cosmic dance of creation before him. "Tell them the shadow in the dark was never our enemy. It was the universe's way of keeping our dreams safe until we were ready to wake up." As the Star Seeker began its journey home, Tom looked one last time at the transformed space around them. The galaxy's deadliest predator had turned out to be something else entirely, not a hunter of flesh and bone, but a guardian of dreams, protecting the most powerful force in existence, the ability to imagine something more. And now, in every corner of space, new dreams were awakening, and new stories were waiting to be told.